Hello everyone, this is Kevin Annett. It's March the 10th, 2020. I have important news for you today, a follow-up from the public notice of liability I issued to 12 co-conspirators in genocide in Canada. It was issued on February 26th. The notice of liability said that they're responsible for damages not only to me, but to many Native people. They're also responsible and complicit in the deaths of 10 individuals, 3 in Port Alberni, 10 in Vancouver, who were involved in exposing crimes by the Catholic, Anglican, and United Churches and their corporate and governmental backers. They're responsible for all of these crimes and damages, and I so named them on February 26th. Well, they had 10 days to respond. None of them responded, which under the law is considered what's called a pro confesso statement of guilt. It means they're not contesting what's being charged against them. And as a result, they are guilty under the law unless they can prove otherwise. Now, on the basis of that, I today petitioned the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels to intervene and issue the next stage in this action, which is known as a public notice of default. These 12 individuals, who I'll name, are directly involved in these crimes, and they are considered under the law to be liable now to have their property and assets seized and even face arrest. Let me read to you the news release that came out from the Common Law Court of Justice today in response to my petition. An international court has found 12 co-conspirators in the genocide of Native people to be in legal default for failing to reply to a notice of liability issued to them by Reverend Kevin Annett on February 26th. According to a default notice issued today by the court, the co-conspirators have until March 31st to admit their wrongs and issue reparations or face court-ordered financial foreclosure and arrest. The co-conspirators are the following people: former Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chretien, Peter Montague, RCMP official, John Chretien, former CEO of Weyerhauser Corporation, the following United Church officials: John Kishore, Marion Best, Virginia Coleman, John Jessamine, and the clergy persons Brian Thorpe, Phil Spencer, and Foster Freed, and 2 private citizens in Surrey, BC, James McNamee and Anne McNamee. Now, these individuals were served this notice of default today by email, fax, and regular mail. And it was issued by the International Common Law Court of Justice, which was the body that successfully tried and convicted Pope Benedict and 29 others in February 2013 and actually forced his resignation. The notice was issued by Court Registrar Jocelyn Comrie Dufour. It states that the accused are, quote, in a state of legal and moral default and pro confesso admission of guilt, and are therefore subject to court-authorized seizures of their properties and assets, and possibly their arrest. And this is the public notice of default that went out under her signature. Now, it also, and the significance is that my application will be considered by the West Coast Common Law Court of Justice that's convening in Vancouver on Monday, March 30th. It'll be the first item on the agenda because it pertains to the ongoing investigation of genocide in Canada, the disappearance of Native families at the hands of Chinese corporations in league with the Trudeau government in Ottawa, the same United Catholic Anglican churches that led the genocide, and other corporate interests. That application will be considered on March 30th, and if my application is granted, the next day, March 30th, arrest warrants will be issued to court-credited sheriffs and deputized police officers in Vancouver. You can follow more of that at murderbydecree.com under ITCCS updates. Let me end by naming those 10 people who these 12 co-conspirators are guilty of causing their deaths. They are accessories in the death of the following individuals: 3 Port Alberni residents, John Sargent, Krista Lynn, and Mark Angus, all of them involved in my congregation, all of them named child traffickers in Port Alberni connected to the Anglican and United Catholic Churches. All of them died of supposed drug overdoses when none of them used drugs. And 7 members of our friends and relatives that disappeared in the ITCCS in Vancouver: Harriet Nahani, Edna Phillips, William Coombs, Ricky LaValle, Bingo Dawson, Harry Wilson, and Ron Barber, all of them taking part in occupations of these churches. All of them subsequently died, including in the case of William Coombs by proven arsenic poisoning at St. Paul's Catholic Hospital. Now, in closing, and as tribute to those brothers and sisters, we are reviving on April 15th, International Aboriginal Holocaust Awareness Day. 15 years ago, we launched that that day and the friends and relatives of the disappeared, and that is the movement that forced the apology in Canada and forced this issue into the international stage, which led to the Common Law Court convening. We remember those fallen brothers and sisters. They will not have died in vain. We will carry the struggle on. Especially keep your eyes tuned to the March 30th International Common Law Court of Justice, when this petition will be considered and the possible arrest of these 12 co-conspirators will follow. This is Kevin Annett, Eagle Strong Voice. For more information, write to itccsoffice@protonmail.com, murderbydecree.com. I thank you.